Hello everyone. In this video, we shall have an introduction to motion. We see various objects moving around us, like a car or bike moving in on the road, or a cyclist or a jogger on the road. We call such activities as motion in our day-to-day life. But are they actually in motion? You might have seen trees going backwards while traveling in a bus or car or in a train. But can the trees move? If not, how do they appear to be going backwards? We will answer all these queries in this video. So let's get started. A body is said to be in motion or moving when its position changes with time with respect to a stationary object taken as a reference point. For example, when the position of a bus changes continuously with respect to stationary objects like houses, trees, etc., we say that the bus is moving or the bus is in motion with respect to a tree or house. You must have to note that if we change the frame of reference, then the description of motion may change. For example, when you travel in a bus, you are in motion with respect to a person standing on the road, whereas you are at rest with respect to your fellow passengers, as your position is not changing with respect to the person inside the bus. Thus, while describing the motion, we must define a frame of reference. Most motions are complex. Some objects may move in a straight line, others may take a circular path, some may rotate, and a few others may vibrate. There may be situations involving a combination of these. The simplest type of motion is the motion along a straight line. Consider the motion of a car moving along a straight path. The car starts its journey from O, which is treated as its reference point. Let A, B, and C represent the position of the car at different instants. At first, the object moves through C and B and reaches A, which are 25 km, 35 km and 60 km away from O respectively. Then it moves back along the same path and reaches C through B. So this is an example of motion in a straight line. Here the total path length covered by the car is OA plus AC, that is 60 km plus 35 equals 95 km. And the final position of the car from O is 25 km. Now, the actual length of the path covered by a moving body, irrespective of the direction in which the body travels, is called distance. So the distance in this case is 95 km. Whereas the shortest distance or the straight line between the initial and the final point is called displacement, and it is 25 km from O to C. In this case, to describe distance, we need to specify only the numerical value and not the direction of motion, whereas in displacement, we need both numerical value and also the direction. The numerical value of a physical quantity is known as its magnitude. What if the car returns back to the point O? The distance traveled by it will be 120 km, but what about the displacement? Think about it, it will be 0. Thus the magnitude of the displacement for a course of motion may be 0, but the distance covered by a moving body can never be 0. If we take a round trip and reach back at the starting point, then though we have travelled some distance, but our final displacement will be 0. This is because the straight line distance between the initial and the final positions will be 0. Now, the quantities like distance, displacement, etc. are known as physical quantities or quantities of physics. A physical quantity having only magnitude or size is known as a scalar quantity. A scalar quantity has no direction. On the other hand, a physical quantity having magnitude as well as direction is known as a vector quantity. Now, let us consider two cars A and B. Both the cars started their journey from the point O at 12 p.m. and want to reach point P, which is 30 km away from O. From 12 pm to 12:10 pm, car A travels 10 km, whereas car B travels 15 km. Then, from 12:10 pm to 12:20 pm, car A travels 10 km, but car B travels 5 km. Then, again from 12:20 pm to 12:30 pm, both car A and car B travel 10 km each and reach point P at the same time. Did you notice the problem? Though both the cars reach at the same time, there is a difference between the motion of the cars. Did you notice it? Actually, car A travels equal distances in equal intervals of time, whereas car B covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. If a body travels equal distances in equal intervals of time, no matter how small these time intervals may be, then the body is said to be in uniform motion. Similarly, a body has a non-uniform motion if it travels unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Now, we have some homework for you. You have to point out the differences between scalar and vector quantities. So that's all from today's video. See you in the next class.